UFC Fight Night Cannonier versus Borralho is around the corner, and I'm here to give some last-second picks. 12 fights in the soulless Apex. A bunch of people making their debut. Some tough finales, but some decent names on the card as well. And speaking of those decent names, I know that the card is labeled Fight Night Cannonier versus Borralho, but the real main event, the true people's main event, has this man in it. And the fight itself is Edmund Shabazian versus Gerald Meerschaert. And we're locking in that GM3 third round special sub. I've been rooting for GM3 for so long, and unbiasedly, I don't understand why Edmund's such a big favorite. His style of striking, he favors that lead side way too much. He likes a good left hook, and then he uses that to swing his hooks. Likes that lead high kick, and GM3's weakness, in my opinion, is only that right hand. As long as he avoids that, which Edmund doesn't really use that much in his game, that straight right of his, he prefers the hooks. If he avoids that, I believe, and the first round, if he avoids that and the first round, I believe it's just one-way traffic. It's not even because of Edmund's gas tank, per se. He just brings down his volume so much and stays on the back foot for so long as he waits to kind of point fight you. But even in that smaller cage, I think when Edmund begins to back up, that takedown's going to be there for the taking for GM3, and he's going to take him down, control him in the second, then tire him out, and then round 3, he's going to get him down and rear naked choke him in signature GM3 fashion. This is the real main event. This is my main event, per se. And yeah, third round GM3. Let's go. Now, you think I'm going to tell you about the main event, Cannonier Borralho, but no. There's also a People's Co-Main event. What is that People's Co-Main event, per se? I gotta stop saying that, per se. Neil Magny versus Michael Morales. We are locking in Magny. I was one of the only people who picked him against Mike Malott. I don't understand the hype behind Michael Morales. Undefeated record, sure. But his highlights have been against Trevin Giles, who's been a highlight reel machine, pretty much, against every prospect we've seen. And Adam Fugit. Not even like Adam Fugit. I don't even know his game. He's like a decent offensive grappler, not defensively. Offensively, he's fine. And he knocked him out. He was just some guy on short notice. But then we look at Jake Matthews and Max Griffin. Point boxing with them, getting hit, hitting them back, barely outstriking them. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, Max Griffin dropped Magny. Magny definitely won rounds 2 and 3. Got dominated in round 1, clearly and brutally. I thought even the referee could have stepped in if Max Griffin put a little more oomph into his follow-ups. But I just think Magny's going to keep this on the outside. He's going to clinch up Morales. There's not too much in the grappling game of Morales that I see or value that Magny can be, that he can capitalize on with and against Magny. I just think Magny's going to clinch this guy up, piece him up with some 1-2s, win rounds 2 and 3, and he's just going to tell Morales, you don't belong in these welterweight rankings. He's got the keys to the gate, the ultimate gatekeeper. He'll let you in if he knows you're worthy. If you're worthy, Magny's got a spot for you fucking booked in the rankings, ready for the taking. VIP, platinum, ranking status. But I don't think Michael Morales is ready yet. And Magny's just going to decision this guy. And at plus 600, pretty much, Magny is a good pick for the taking, especially the decision prop line. Now we can move to our main event. Caio Borralho, another fighting nerd, against Jared Cannonier. Unfortunately for Jared, I'm going to go against him, and I'm going to pick Caio Borralho. He's just a bit too held back, and I don't trust his finishing potential nowadays. Sure, he's got some power in his hands, but Caio Borralho likes staying on the outside. He bounces in and out on the feet, and when he wants to grapple, he does it, with extreme caution and precaution. That was the same shit. With extreme precaution, I think he can clinch up Cannonier. I think he's stronger in the grappling realm, and he'll ride out, I'd say, the middle rounds. I say 2, 3, 4. He rides him out, and Cannonier, he can slow down. He slowed down against Imavov, was very low on volume against Strickland for the most part in the later rounds. So who knows? Kai does get a bit sloppy as well himself, but I think Cannonier is gonna step on the gas. I think he's gonna put the prospect on notice, kind of like Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad style, where we know Caio's won the fight, but Cannonier maybe has a moment. He catches him with a good shot. Doesn't even wobble him per se, but the shots land, but Caio survives the ending of the fight. He'll grapple him, he'll bounce in and out of range, and he'll avoid the pocket boxing of Cannonier to earn himself a decision, and I think it's a safe pick to go with a guy like Caio in this matchup. 48-47, potentially 49-46, with him winning rounds 2 to 4, definitely, and potentially round 5. So, yeah, that's my main event pick. The official main event pick. This will count as my main event pick, but again, people's main event, GM3. Now, Angela Hill, a.k.a. Alex Caceres, versus Tabitha Ricci. I just don't see what Tabitha Ricci has to offer, really. I'm going to go with Angela Hill. She's got good striking on the outside, throws everything. Tabitha Ricci sometimes just puts her head down and in typical women's MMA fights just starts slinging out her punches with her chin down. And eyes down as well, not even looking at where she's throwing. She gets flimsy, but hey, Angela Hill is good at circling off from the cage. She'll redirect herself to the center and throw some nice 1-2 combinations on Richie, and she'll earn herself a good decision. I don't think the grappling will be used too much, maybe some clinching from both parties, but I'm going to go with Angela Hill to get this decision. And yeah, I just don't see, much that she can do. Hey, Angela Hill dealt with Lupe Godinez, and Lupe Godinez, I think, handedly pieced up Tabitha Ricci. I know it was a split decision, but I thought Lupe clearly won it. So, yeah, 29-28 for Hill. Now, Robert Valentine versus Ryan Loer. I just think it's going to be a scrap fest where Robert Valentine just edges it out and gets a decision. He's not supposed to win it, but still. And to be honest, I haven't watched much of them outside of Tough. So, yeah. But I'm going to trust in Robert Valentine. To get it done in a scrappy MMA fight. Everything's going to be used in this fight, and Valentine is going to come out victorious. Now, Oley versus Marion Santos. From what I've seen, Oley is a good grappler. He pushes a nice pace. He chases a submission with it in mind. That's his main goal. Marion Santos sometimes gets scrappy. Takes these guys to a close decision. Sometimes TKOs them, but sometimes doesn't. And I'm going to just trust in Oley to take down this grappler and Marion Santos as the grappler, take down the striker in Marion Santos and submit him in rounds 2 or 3. And yeah, get the job done there. Now, Dennis Bazooka versus Francis Marshall. We're going to go with the Bazooka decision, 29-28. I think a grapple up Francis Marshall, seeing as how Isaac Dilgarian dealt with him. I don't think he has as good of a ground and pound game as Bulgarian to get him out of there. But trusting with the training that he's putting in with Merab, Aljo, and Weidman and whatnot, I think he'll decision out a guy like Francis Marshall, who's a bit, his weakness is the grappling. So I think he'll survive the early shots of Marshall in the first round and ride out rounds 2 and 3 comfortably and get the decision. Now, Zachary Reese versus Jose Daniel Medina. I'm going to go with Zachary Reese. Very kind of risky pick because Zachary Reese is KO prone. He can get KO'd. He can get finished. I just don't think Jose's the guy to do that. I think he actually has a good potential to take Zachary Reese to a decision where he wins rounds 2 and 3. But, and for that reason, I'm not making it a lock. But I am going to trust in Zachary Reese to get that first round TKO against this dude. And yeah, get the job done. Cody Brundage's son. That is. Now, Vyacheslav Borshev versus James Lontop. I know Borshev got dropped by Chase Hooper, but hey, Chase Hooper is the GOAT, one of the GOATs. Yeah, you can't deny it. He's going to be Makhachev. But Vyacheslav Borshev, I think he is good on the front foot. I know, again, he got caught on the front foot by a winging overhand that Chase Hooper put on his chin, but a guy like James Lontop, he's a bit more of a kind of cleaner boxer per se. He doesn't really wing his shots too much, a bit more patient as well, and on the back foot. He is constantly on the back foot, and I think that favors Vyacheslav Borshev, and he's going to push this guy up against the fence after a scrappy first 2 rounds where it could go either way, but Vyacheslav puts a nice combination together, body head, and potentially standing TKOs this dude. So, yeah, we're going to go with Borshev, 3rd round TKO. Now, Jacqueline Cavalcante versus Josiane Nunes. Interesting fight. Very interesting fight. Jacqueline Cavalcante isn't that good, but this Josiane Nunes isn't that impressive at all. Lost to Chelsea Chandler, lost to Zara Fern, I believe that was her name. She was like a 6'5" gal, some tall, lanky gal, and that fight was at featherweight, but she was so finishing prone, and even she had like Josiane Nunes in trouble at moments. Didn't, wobble or knock her down, but the strikes were landing, and I think Jacqueline Cavalcante is going to just stay on the outside, pick her shots and get a decision. I mean, who knows how this fight can go, but if you're losing to Chelsea Chandler, I know she's ranked and whatnot, but I don't know how she's ranked. She's missed weight twice for that division and still ranked. Beyond fucking crazy, but still, Cavalcante, better technically, gonna bounce around Josiane Nunes and pick her shots and get the decision. Now, Zygmantas Ramska versus Nathaniel Fletcher. Striker versus grappler for the most part. I just think Nathaniel Fletcher, good grappling game. He did get clipped, I believe, in one of his losses. In his only loss, that is. And, other than that, he's good at his grappling game. Good competition as well at Cage Warriors. Gonna take this dude down and submit him. Haven't really seen much of the other guy. Just feel like that's how it's gonna go. Now, our opening card. Our opening fight for the fucking card. Wang Kong. Yes, that's a real name. Wang Kong versus Victoria Leonardo. The -12 odds are actually a bit respectful towards Victoria Leonardo, considering how not good she is. She has been finished by pretty much every prospect you can imagine. Or at least not prospect. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Prospect. what is it? Natalia Silva, Erin Blanchfield. That, what is it? Erin Blanchfield head kick that you see she landed on the regional scene. That was against Victoria Leonardo. What is it? Miranda Maverick and Menon Fior. Some other people that I just saw from her Tapology. She's been finished by everybody. And Wang Kong does her good work in the cage. I think she's going to get the highlight and potentially turn around quick for the China card they have. I think it's in China, at least, like in November or something like that. And yeah, she's going to get it. It's a lock. It's a definite lock. TKO or sub, as you wish. I'm going to go with TKO. Yeah. I think she should be minus 3,000. So